Welcome to my channel, and today I want to share a story that will take you 35,000 feet above the Atlantic, where an ordinary passenger in a green sweater turns out to be a retired combat pilot and faces a danger no one saw coming. It's a story of courage, quick thinking, and ordinary people rising to extraordinary challenges. So grab a seat and let's start. She was just another passenger in seat 8A, leaning against the window trying to sleep. At 35,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean, the cabin was wrapped in soft darkness. Engine noise blended into a steady hum, overhead lights were dimmed, and most passengers were lost in movies or shallow sleep. It was a routine overnight flight from New York to London, the kind people forgot as soon as it landed. Then the calm shattered. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking." The voice was controlled but strained. "If there is a combat pilot on board, please identify yourself immediately." The cabin froze. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. A fork hovered above a tray, screens were paused. 300 passengers exchanged uneasy looks, each silently asking the same question. In seat 8A, the woman in the green sweater stirred. Her name was Emily Carter. To the businessman beside her, she was just another tired traveler. To the flight attendants, she was polite, quiet, forgettable. That was intentional. Emily had chosen the window seat, the overnight flight, and anonymity on purpose. She had walked away from a life most people would never understand. The sweater she wore still carried the faint scent of her mother's laundry detergent, a reminder of the 2 weeks she had spent trying to feel normal again, trying to sleep through the nightmares, trying to convince herself she had made the right choice by leaving the Air Force. Emily pressed her forehead to the cold glass and stared at the darkness below. Somewhere beneath them, ships crawled across the ocean like distant stars. Up here, she wanted peace. For the first time in weeks, sleep had finally found her. And then the announcement came. This time, there was no mistaking it. Emily opened her eyes to see flight attendants moving briskly through the aisle, worry replacing their professional smiles. Fear rippled through the cabin like an electric current. A woman whispered, "Did he say combat pilot?" Emily's heart sank. She closed her eyes again, hoping someone else would speak up. She had promised herself she was done carrying responsibility, done being the one everyone depended on when things went wrong. But then she saw the faces around her, a mother clutching a sleeping child, an elderly couple holding hands, a young man nervously rehearsing something under his breath. Fear was everywhere. A flight attendant stopped beside her row. "Ma'am," she said quietly, desperation clear in her voice. "Do you know if anyone nearby has military flight experience?" Emily inhaled slowly. She could hide. She could stay silent. But she couldn't pretend she wasn't who she was. "I'm a pilot," Emily said. The attendant leaned closer. "Commercial?" Emily shook her head and straightened. "Former combat pilot, United States Air Force, flew fighter aircraft." The reaction was immediate. Whispers spread. Heads turned. Relief washed over the flight attendant's face. "Please come with me, right now." Emily stood, unbuckling her seatbelt as every eye followed her. The disguise she had built, ordinary clothes, quiet posture, lowered gaze, fell away with every step. The cockpit door opened to flashing warning lights and tight expressions. The captain looked back at her, eyes sharp with concern. "You're the combat pilot?" "Yes, sir," Emily said. "Captain Emily Carter, retired." "We need help," he admitted. "Our systems are failing, and something is following us." Emily stepped forward, already reading the instruments. On the radar screen, a second aircraft hovered too close. The unidentified aircraft had no transponder signal and no response to radio calls. It mirrored their speed, altitude, and heading with unnatural precision. "This isn't accidental," Emily said quietly. The first officer wiped sweat from his brow. "It appeared out of nowhere. Then our navigation system started changing on its own." Emily's training took over. Calm replaced fear. On the external camera feed, she saw it clearly, a dark, sleek aircraft with no visible markings, built to avoid detection. A voice crackled over the radio. "Flight 417, adjust to the transmitted coordinates." Emily grabbed the microphone. "This is a civilian aircraft. Identify yourself." "Comply," the voice replied coldly, "or face consequences." The hostile aircraft swept dangerously close, sending turbulence through the cabin. Screams echoed behind the cockpit door. "They're forcing us off course," the captain said. "What do we do?" Emily didn't hesitate. "We don't comply." She took the co-pilot seat and studied the radar. "They expect fear. We give them unpredictability." When the hostile aircraft made another aggressive pass, Emily adjusted altitude and speed at the exact right moment. The maneuver caused the pursuer to overshoot, buying precious time. But time was limited. Then came worse news. The intercom buzzed. "2 passengers in business class are trying to access restricted areas," the head attendant reported. "They're talking about a mission." Emily's blood went cold. "This is coordinated," she said. "External and internal." Moments later, chaos erupted in the cabin. One hostile passenger stood, revealing a concealed weapon. Before panic could spread, passengers acted. A large man tackled the attacker. Another restrained the second suspect. A retired police officer assisted. Courage rose where fear had lived. "They're subdued," the captain confirmed. But the aircraft outside remained. Then the radio crackled again, this time with chilling familiarity. "Emily Carter," the voice said. "I know you're there." She recognized it instantly. "Daniel Rourke," she whispered. "A former enemy. A man who blamed her for his brother's death during a past mission." "This ends when you surrender," he said. Emily closed her eyes briefly, then spoke into the radio. "Let these people go. This is between us." Rourke laughed. "You don't get to choose." Emily knew his weakness. He wanted control, not destruction. "He'll force us down," she told the captain, "which gives us one chance." She broadcast distress signals on every available frequency. If anyone was watching, they would see them now. Rourke made his final move, accelerating into an aggressive intercept. Emily waited. At the last possible second, she reduced power and dropped altitude sharply. The hostile aircraft shot past them. Emily surged forward, engines roaring, placing the commercial plane directly behind her enemy. For a brief, impossible moment, silence followed. Then, on the horizon, 2 fighter jets appeared. The interceptors closed in fast. Rourke broke away instantly, vanishing into cloud cover, unwilling to face real opposition. "Flight 417, this is Lieutenant Alex Turner," a calm voice said over the radio. "You're safe. We have you." Relief washed through the cockpit. Hours later, the plane landed safely in London. Emergency crews surrounded the aircraft. Security escorted the detained passengers away. Inside the terminal, travelers lined up to thank Emily. Some hugged her, others cried. One mother placed her baby in Emily's arms and whispered, "You saved her life." Emily didn't feel like a hero. She felt exposed. The past she tried to bury had found her. Later, she made one call. "I'm done running," she told her former commander. "I want to come back." 6 months later, Emily wore a new uniform. She flew protective missions, guarding skies instead of fighting wars. Sometimes she thought about Seat 8A, about how ordinary moments could become extraordinary, about how you can hide from your past, but not from who you truly are. When the call comes, the real you always answers. And that's the incredible story of courage at 35,000 feet. From an ordinary passenger in Seat 8A to a hero who saved hundreds of lives, this story reminds us that sometimes the person sitting next to you could be exactly who the world needs. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories. If you like this story, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share with your friends and family so you don't miss the next powerful story coming your way. Drop a heart in comment. Like and subscribe my channel, and visit my channel for more interesting story videos.